We all talk about the importance of being able to change, whether personally or helping others. In order to be able to coach both individuals and organizations through change, it's crucial to learn what the motivation is. So what is motivation? I'm Telluselle, and here's my take, founded in Maslow. Motivation is simply the driving force behind our behavior. It's our choices, our decisions, and our actions, and why we are doing it the way we are. And why it's important to learn this is simply to understand ourselves, to understand others, to lead for a shared causal goal, to reconciliate conflicts, to increase efficiency and productivity, and to master change energy. We can look at and understand motivation on various levels that sometimes are opposing each other. Our inner and outer, our individual and organizational, our ego and versus our essential versus our perceived needs, and of course our evolution and learning. The very foundation for understanding motivation is looking to what our needs are. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we must satisfy these in ascending order to reach our potential for self-actualization. However, later research has found that this is a continuing cyclic process, parallel as we grow from essential to perceived needs. Our essential or basic needs are, first of all, food and water, second, shelter and safety, third, love and affection, fourth, social connection and belonging, and fifth, self-actualization. However, as we try to satisfy these needs, we suddenly find ourselves wanting more, bigger, better, quality, and quantity, and these become our perceived needs. The factors that we need to take into account to understand motivation are both individual and organizational. Our individual factors are salary, job security, our inner and outer motivation, our meaning and purpose, and to feel useful and needed. An organization is thinking more about profit, turnover, their inner and outer, an organization's mission and vision, and of course value and contribution of ideas by employees can be motivation. When it comes to understanding our inner and our outer drivers, we as individuals tend to lean into one or the other. For example, our inner drivers are usually feeling motivated by a sense of accomplishment, efficiency, and aesthetic, and often by being an introvert personality. They also feel it's important to have a purpose and meaning, to find a sense of improvement, and have a creative inspiration. Outer drivers, on the other hand, is to regain a recognition, feel productive, have a good environment, and often be an extrovert personality. It's about having a collective goal, making money, and feeling that you reach a certain status or rank. It's when we don't feel that we're getting these needs met in the way we would like and prefer that we often end up in conflict. So in order to solve our conflicts, we need to remember and recognize which needs haven't been met and how. In order to reconciliate in a conflict or between two parties, we can simply remember to think of when we either collectively or individually perceive a threat, we resort to our motivation to survive rather than just accomplish and thrive in order to making sure that we are safe. All these unfulfilled needs will govern us everywhere, both professionally and personally. And when we develop arguments for a cause, they reveal our true motivation, which often is a matter of freedom and autonomy versus solidarity and support. It's a matter of greed versus ethics, authority versus power. That is, who is going to own the influence. When we look at society as a whole, we can see that most organizations are making their progress through inventions and innovations of various kinds in order to fulfill our needs in a better way. As we develop, adapt to, and use these new inventions, we develop new behaviors based on created perceived needs, But these can often be incorporated into our list of essential needs if you look a little closer. For example, being online and getting responses equals social connections, belonging, and self-actualization. It's just a different mode that we're doing it in. Learning this whole thing is a progressive problem solving that creates personal and collective evolution. In order for us to create this progressive and positive society, we need other factors to consider as well, and that is of course our culture, our politics, our religion, and our norms. The environment, laws and authorities, the time, relationships and social arena, the state of the world, leadership and power. All this can either create a sense of order that enables us to progress forward in a calm manner that satisfies everybody's needs. But on the other hand, creating chaos also creates a friction energy, and that friction energy can be used for change regardless. The highest step of the hierarchy of needs is called self-actualization, and this is the step that all coaches are striving to enable the clients to reach. Self-actualization means that we are realizing our potential in terms of fully expressing our own sense of identity by creating a meaning from our life experiences. We do this on 3 levels. First, by being sensual, we are guided by our senses, and through them we gain a certain understanding of our experience. Then we can become more sincere. As we grow in awareness, we become consciously choosing presence. And finally, on a spiritual level, we can create meaning and purpose through faith. To reach a sense of increased awareness, we can think about our 3 levels in ourselves, which are the subconscious levels, where the self-unknown, our conscious levels, the self-asserting, and of course the higher consciousness, self-realized. When we include these motivational factors in our interactions more consciously, we can increase harmony in our relationships. As we are trying to fulfill our potential, we are often fluctuating between egoistic and existential drivers. Our egoistic drivers are self-gain, reaching class and status, fame and followers, gaining influence, and feeling a sense of authority. Our existential drivers come from within, and they are as important, and that is to feel that we are contributing to the common good, that we are following God's plan, that we feel a sense of purpose and meaning, that we have our own power, and that we are feeling that we are doing the right thing to do. In order to find out your own true specific motivational drivers, regardless of it is on the job, in your private home life, in your relationship, or in your own search for meaning, you can speak to a professional life coach. We do a set of inquiries to help you reach an understanding and clarity coming from within yourself in a ways that you can learn more about how you operate, so you can be conscious and aware and making sure that you get all these needs met, as well as being open to how others are also striving to get their own needs met. This self-inquiry can be, for example, answering questions like, what do you want? Why do you want it? What will you feel, think, and do when you got it? How will you know that you succeeded? What are you saying? What are you doing in alignment with what you want? And how does this align with your peers? Answering these kind of questions will help you get clear on setting a goal and reaching it together with a life coach. And if you'd like to use me as your sounding board, you can reach me by sending an email to aloha@telluselle.com or simply check out my webpage at telluselle.com. Thank you for listening. Aloha.